Hey everybody, I'm back. UPS today dropped me off a couple of boxes. One was from HSN, but it wasn't scrapbooky stuff, nothing interesting other than a new Roku for us and one for my mother-in-law for our birthday. But he did drop off this box from Spellbinders that I've been waiting for. I'm like, woohoo, and I already had the alert, so I knew it was coming. I just didn't realize that it was coming today. So here it is. So I thought I would share in the joy of opening what I always call the mystery box, because I can never remember what I ordered until I open the box. So let's get to it and let's discover what goodies, I got. I'm pretty sure this was from they had one of their last sales. And if you're not on their email list, I highly recommend you do it, because they always seem to be having some sort of a sale that's really worth it. And, or, in my case, I also am part of their kit club. So that gives me, just by belonging to the kit club, and I just right now only belong to the large die, because I allowed myself to drop off because I had the whole kit and caboodle, which is small die, large die, and the card kit. And what I have personally decided to do is I'm going to sign back up for each of those, but individually, which in the grand scheme of things will work out more expensive, but it gives me the option. Spellbinders gives you the option on any given month to opt out of anything, except in the kit and caboodle. Either you opt out for everything or you opt in for everything, even if you don't happen to like the card kit at that time, or the large kit, or the small die. So I've decided, I realize in the grand scheme of things, it's going to work out cheaper for me if I do each one individually and then opt out for the one, opt out for one or more of the ones I don't like. And like this last one, I was glad I had dropped out. I let myself drop out, or I literally opted out, canceled the club, because the only one that I liked for the September releases was the large die. I was okay. I mean, I liked the cards, but I knew I wasn't necessarily going to do them. And I did like the small die, and I know me well enough to know I wasn't going to do that either. So that's just something to keep in mind if you want to go onto their website, because I mean, I love Spellbinders. I'm a monstrous fan of their stuff. Always have been since early on in scrapbooking. So I have a lot of Spellbinders, and I continue to amass more Spellbinders. Anyway, let's really, you don't want to hear me rattle along about all my, my theories on kit clubs. You want to see what I got, huh? So let's see. Look, paper. Okay, it's not the kind of paper we want. But it's, oh my God. This is the Jane Davenport order. I was not expecting this soon. So this last week, they had Jane Davenport on sale for 60%, up to 60% off. This obviously is not Jane Davenport, but I threw these in because they are clearanced out. They're, FSJ, Fan Super Jenner, little frames. And I had originally wanted to get 3 to put pictures of each of my daughters in them. And then somehow when I originally ordered them, I forgot I only ordered 1. And I'm like, hello, I have 3 daughters. That's a problem. Okay, this is my packing slip. So now I have 3 of them, and I can find pretty pictures and then find a place to put these. So yeah, these were literally like, let me put it there so you can see them, like $1 and chump change. It was less than $2. I want to say it was $1.19. Don't quote me on that, but they were super cheap. So if you think these are cute, go run and get them. Alrighty. Okay, let's move on to, I can't even tell what this is, but okay, this is a die. I'm also all into it. There's several of them. These are 2, whoops. Let me not knock the stand off. Okay, so I got a couple of embossing folders. This is one of them, and this is not just an embossing folder. It's a cutout. So here, let me open it up and show you. So it does 2 things at once. It embosses, and then this part right here is cut out of your paper. So I don't know if you can see that. But let me see. I might grab a piece of paper here and do a handy-dandy demonstration with this one. But I got 2 of them. And these 2 were, I think, and these are clearanced out. This was not part of the Jane Davenport sale. I think you can still find them clearanced out. So they're like $3, $4 tops for an embossing folder that cuts at the same time. You guys all know that's a deal. That's a steal of a deal, a smoking deal. And then I got this one too. It doesn't have the words. It's just the embossing folder itself. But I really, really liked it. So again, this one too will cut out. Let's see. Let me open this up so you guys can see it better. But there you have it. It'll emboss that pattern, and then what's white, that's where the cutout is going to be. So it's like matted with foam. So I'm pretty jazzed. I am really excited to play with this. Everything excites me. I'm a scrapbooker. Everything makes me happy if it's playing with paper. Okay, now I stuck it to the paper, so we will set it up aside and unstick it later. And then I got this die. I am a sunflower person, so I don't even know if it's a sunflower. I think it's a sunflower, and that doesn't matter. It's what I think. But it's super, super cute. And I've seen it already demoed. So here, this is what it looks like cut out. So you can just use it that way. I could even see using it as a side piece to a page, and then journaling, putting a little note right there in between and using those as my lines. So it's just an idea, but I'm super stoked, really excited. I got this, and this too. This was part of the Jane Davenport sale. I think it's still marked down, but not as cheap as I got it. So don't hate me. But if you guys at least sign up for the email list and the alerts, and because Spellbinders is always doing sales, so you want to take, be on top of it and take advantage when they decide to go insane. For example, this was really one of the things I want to take advantage of. I don't know if you guys can tell. This is a binder. It's 10 1/4 by 11.5 inches. I'm going to, let me see if I can zoom out a little bit more so you guys, there you go. Now you guys can see all of it. But it's huge. And it's $29.99, I believe, something like that. And I got them for $5. So you really have to follow the sales, because that's why I bought 2 of them. And it's not that I'm necessarily a huge Jane Davenport person, but it just so happens that I like mermaids. And it just so happens that the accent color to my scrapbooking area motif, which is all like browns and tans, and teal is the accent color. So that was it. She had me at teal. But you can see, I mean, it is really, really, I didn't realize it was that big, and I've seen it. I saw Vianney also show it. She got it, and I did not get the perspective that this sucker is big. It's like a regular binder. And you open it up, and it has a clipboard here to the left, and then on this side, it fits. It has pockets to put dies. Like this one's this one big, huge pocket. But then the rest of the pockets are, no, 2 huge pockets. There we go. And now these are smaller pockets for you to insert dies in. So like this, I don't know if this will fit. I might have to cut down the card, but it conceivably, just barely, not quite. But trust me, I have stuff that will fit in here. I'm really excited. I had no idea it was this large. So trust me, I have stuff that I can put in here one way or another. And then in the back, it has, your basic binder back pocket. So at $5, yes, no, I didn't get 1. I got 2. And see, look at the back. Isn't that lovely? Expect wonderful things to happen. Right on. So yes, I am really, I was excited already, but now I'm really excited about these binders, because I will put them to use, and I'll put them in my cubby and make my area both functional and pretty. And that's what it's all about. Okay, I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it away. I'm going to set this aside. And the rest are, I got her fountain pens. And there's not all the ones I got it. Hey, I'm missing a, oh no, here it is. Never mind. Let me not say a word. I haven't played with fountain pens in a long time. And she had these 2 were on sale again, smoking cheap. So, I mean, just keep watching. These things are going to come back around, because this is not the first time I've seen them really, marked down. So if you guys are bargain hunters, and we all are, because we want to make our scrap and buck go farther, then watch for the sales. But I picked up, these 2 are really for me, and even one of the black ones, and my husband saw them and he was like, ooh. So we have a black one for the manly man. So he has one too. So I have all of these, because I really couldn't decide which color I want. I see, he's already wanting, you're missing this, guys. He's on the side going like this, wanting his pen. So here, dear, you can have your pen. To play. See, I'm telling you, I married the perfect guy. But yeah, I got these just because I couldn't make up my mind which one. So I'm like, oh heck, at the price they were, I got one of each and then one for him. Because he is, I am married for scrapbooking for what I do. I couldn't have married a more supporting guy. He's not just supportive of what I love to do. He's an enabler. And personally, I keep telling him, I don't need help. I am perfectly capable of getting into trouble all by myself. But he will be watching YouTube or something and say, oh, don't you have that? No, you really need that. And I'm like, and I look at him and it's hilarious, but I love him. Anyway. The last thing is in this box are inks. I bought 3 inks because these are Jane Davenport's incredible inks, and I can refill the pens with these inks. Because if you see here, obviously the pen comes with the 3 cartridges, one in blue, one in green, one in red. And then this here is you use it to refill it. I saw a YouTube video because before I decided to go down the rabbit hole with the inks, I wanted to see what was involved in re-inking it. And what is involved are latex gloves, flat out. But it's doable. It's something that I'm willing to attempt. So I am going to, so I got the colors that I thought I would use, which is that aqua blue-green. And then this one is tinsel, so it's like a red. It's more, I don't know why it looks like that. Or maybe it's a, I can't forget now. I mean, I can't remember. And then this one is blueberry, so it's a deep blue because blue is my favorite color. So yes, these are my goodies. I am super jazzed. As soon as I'm off camera, I am going to set one of these up. But, oh, wait a minute. No, I told you guys, I can't tell you I'm going to do something and then not do it. Let me set this aside. And I'm going to pull out that embosser and emboss the paper so you guys can see how they work. So hang on a second. I'll be right back. Okay, mat scrappers, I came back to show you guys what I did, or what I'm planning on doing, let me say them, with these 2 embossing folders I got from the Spellbinders sale. I took a moment, I broke already one out and played with it just a tiny bit, because just so you know, this is just, I mean, I don't know if it's officially a 3D, considered a 3D embossing folder or not, but it does 2 things. I mean, it embosses and it cuts, and it takes a little bit of engineering to figure out what your sandwich is going to be. It is not the traditional sandwich by any means, and you're going to find as if you start acquiring other, like especially the 3D embossing folders, they don't take the traditional sandwich. Even if you follow the exact instructions that your Big Shot, your Platinum, the Gemini, your Anna Griffin, name your die cutter of choice, embosser of choice, or Cuttlebug, you're going to have to fiddly fart with it a little bit. So just be aware of that, and it's okay. So if you're going to break out one of these or a folder that you are not familiar with working with, I highly recommend you go break out some of your scrappy pieces of paper, the not nice stuff, and play with it and figure out what your sandwich is going to be before, 1, you ruin your paper, and 2, you ruin your machine, which would make me even sadder, or you would be sadder. So I'm just giving you that as a little bit of a heads up, because that's what I found I had to do. I mean, I really actually, I was deciding, hey, I'm going to use my Gemini because that thing rocks it. I love my Gemini. And yeah, I tried every sandwich I could think of, and it did not work. And I'm trusting you, at one point, the first sandwich that actually did work, it shot out the other end like a bullet. I mean, my husband was sitting next to me and said, what was that? And I'm like, yeah, that was the sandwich. So yeah, we won't do that again. So I could not make the Gemini work with this folder. It doesn't mean that you can't. It just means I couldn't do it. So what I ended up doing was breaking out basically Old Faithful, which is my Big Shot. I've had this baby, gosh, since I probably acquired this the first year I started scrapbooking. Let me zoom out just a little bit so you can see a little bit better. But you could tell this is like the Old Faithful pink one, so you guys know how far back that goes. And when I got it, I got it discounted because the newer one, the teal color one, had come out of that blue one. But I have this one. I'm going to keep it until it dies. I don't have a need with, why replace something that works? So, and here you go. It's what saved my life. So, so let me go on rather than jibber jabber, but I wanted you to know that, just that, you know, don't be surprised and just play with it. So anyway, I started with the Morrocan first. And I wanted to let you know, I just decided to make it into a 5x7 card. So I pulled out, and I have a bunch of those kits that like everybody buys, or maybe not everybody, but I have bought from Recollections. So it's supposedly the 5x7, but as you notice here, I wrote down, I measured it out. Actually, it's 5x6.5. So it's just, I'm going to do 2 cards, one with each folder. So I just take, you know, my handy dandy little 5x6.5. It already comes pre-scored. And I'm going to go ahead and fold it in half. I'm also going to take my handy dandy bone folder, and I slowly finish it. I cleared my desk and put it away, but I always crease it nicely just because that's how I roll. So either way, this one is 5x6.5. I went ahead also and pre-cut the paper just to save us a little time. So I cut a piece of my colored, this pearl, I decided to use this pearl red, 4 3/4 by 6 1/4, and it's going to be the one that goes behind. So you're going to see it behind the cutout, and then I'm going to use a white piece on top that will be cut off, and I cut that at 4.5 by 6. This is what's going to go into the embossing folder right now. So let me just take my little handy dandy Post-it tape that now, of course, it's supposed to be easily taken care of until you want to do it on camera, and then suddenly it doesn't want to cooperate. So here. There we go. And if you guys are interested, this tape, and it's literally Post-it tape. It comes like this. This is a Daiso find. So you get this for like $1.50. I have several of them. I have like probably 3 or 4 of these. You can tell this one has been used up quite a bit. But I use it all the time just for this purpose, just to use it to measure things that I want to remember. So you can get this at Daiso, guys. Cheap. Run. Go get it. So anyway, now let me pull this out. So what I ended up doing, finding that worked to, whoops, on the embossing was literally my platform, both tabs closed. I take my embossing folder. I'm going to put that little piece of paper in, and we're going to try to center it as best I can while I am at it. So let's do that. Whoops. So it's about 2-way street. Okay, let me see. Let me try that again. I know, I'm sorry I'm taking time to do this, but I am kind of a little anal retentive. And I have, hang on a second, I have the wrong glasses on. Give me a second. Those are the look at the computer glasses, not the, oh, look at what I'm doing glasses. Okay, so I took this. I'm just going to put it right in here, like this, and run it through with just the top, my very well-loved plate, as you can tell. And run it through. And then I just ran it back through. Why doesn't that feel like it did the job? Did it do the job? Oh, it did the job. Never mind. See, never underestimate it. Ta-da! If you pull it out, there you go. Let me just take my little handy-dandy, isn't that a cute sound? Pokey outer tool. And there you go, in one shot. Okay, maybe, ooh, okay. Not so much one shot. I'm going to come back through. That one does not want to come out. Let me poke these little pieces out. And I'm a stubborn kind of person, so I want to pull it all out at once. But all that does means that you are tearing paper. So the better part of valor and wisdom tells me, run it back through again. So let's do that again and hope this doesn't backfire for me. If not, practice makes perfect. I'll do it again with a new piece of paper. Thank God I cut two. Let me run it back through this way. And if it still wants to be cantankerous, then I'll just shim it. But it looks good already, I think. Let's see. Goodness gracious, it really does not want to come out. Holy cannoli, Backman. Let's see. You know what I'm going to try to do? Let me see if it's just that piece, because it cut before just fine. And, oh, I suppose it helps if I do it in the right direction. Hello. Okay, it feels... I want to line this up correctly. So see, this is the thing. The best laid plans of mice and mire. It's all great and wonderful until you do it on camera. And then, yeah, nothing wants to work. Let's try that. Okay. And we're going to run it through again. I'm going to put it right in the middle because I know that's my sweet spot for my big shot. Run it back. Let's go again. And okay, when all else fails, guys, don't be a dork like I am being right now. Shim it. There we go. Let's see. That should do it, in theory. Or we might have a 3-hour video. Who knows? How many ways can you screw up a cut? Ah, there we go. That's it. I should have done that tutorials ago, huh? Ah, well, there you go. Alrighty. So while I'm at it, rather than take up more time, I'm going to break open this one too. And let's do both. With the shim! This time. Hang on a second. Do that. That. Okay, let me get my other piece of paper. Okay. I'm going to put that in there as well. I'm going to try to center it. Wow, that's not a bad job, Myra. There you go. Let's do this. Nope. There's our dirty little piece of paper. And let's see if this time I can pull it off in one pass. Who knows? Stranger things have happened than something go right. As I'm twirling my mat into a sit and spin. Oops, there we go. That looks good. Let's see. Yeah, I think we did it. Let's poke these little things out. Those little pokey holes right there. Poke right there, poke right there. Yeah, I can live with that. You know what? There. See, look how deep it is. It's the edges. How weird is that? But again, this is what I was saying about the sweet spot. Let me make sure. Okay. For my big shot here is that it's in the center. So those center parts are really, so I can just barely fit it. There we go. Sideways. So I'm just going to rotate it 90 degrees. And that should solve my problem. Or make a hot mess. We'll find out. At this point, I didn't shim it because it wasn't about cutting. It was about making sure that emboss is good. So let me see if I can keep it aligned and look at it. That's a lot better. Not, I don't know. Maybe it's just the light is bad. But it looks good. I think it's just the lighting because we're looking on white and the light is bright. Who would know that bright light would not be a good thing? Okay, let me put this back together real quick because we are done. No, we're not. We're not done cutting. So let me just, I'm going to take this behind me for a second, I think. There we go. So we so far have these two cut. We're going to turn this back this way. I'm also, while I'm at it, going to fold my other card just so I have it all ready because I'm going to do some gluing down. So set this aside for just 1 second. And actually, no. Let me change my mind on camera. Oh my gosh, women and fickleness, right? I'm going to cut. I decided to put, since there's space right here for both of them, I wanted to do a sentiment. So I went searching into the recesses of my bins and the stuff I have, and I pulled out a couple of more Spellbinders. I figure if we're doing Spellbinders, it should be all Spellbinders. And I found these sentiments, so I decided just to make them just general cards. So I decided if I break this out, I wanted to use Thinking of You. And I think that's very appropriate for what we're going through right now with the pandemics. You know, you want to send, even though somebody's sitting low, then, you know, sending them a little card just to pick me up. It's not a bad thing. And then from here, I want to use I think this is it. No. Is this one it? Yeah, Just a Note. So I want to use Thinking of You and Just a Note. Let me put this aside before I lose them. So I'm going to go ahead, let me scooch this aside. I'm going to do Thinking of You. I decided that card was going to be in red. So let me first, and this one is just doesn't cut. It's not just a cutting die. It is a cutting and debossing guide. So not embossing, debossing. Although I suppose if I, no, it's done. Never mind. Let me not get inventive. But what I mean by debossing is it will cut it out, but it will also, excuse me, make an imprint into the paper as opposed to out. So now let's pull back Old Faithful here. I don't need the shim right now, I think. Who knows? At the rate I'm going having to shim things, I might be wrong. But I'm just going to take that in. Again, put it in the center, since I know it's my sweet spot. And let's run it through and see what happens. I'm going to run it back. Okay. Whoops. And well, okay, this, let's see, let me pull this out first. Let's take the piece of paper out. Okay, and let me see, I'm going to poke out one end just to see how it looks. Now, can you see that? That's not bad, but I want to see, I think I want to get a little bit deeper of an imprint. Hopefully you guys can see that. So I'm going to pop it back in, put it back down. Where is that handy dandy? Here we go. Again, this is why you have shims. That's why you have those little pieces of paper just for that occasion. We'll try one and see what happens. Let's roll it through, roll it back. Let's see. Oh my goodness. There we go. There we go. I think I like that a lot better. Can you see that? See how it did that? And you can see, because this is a not a pearl, but it's a sparkly, it's not like glitter, but it's a sparkly paper. But look what happened. It literally flattened the sparkle out of it in doing this. So I'm gonna quit while I'm ahead. Leave that well enough alone, except that I want to put this on top, and this feels flimsy, which I knew. I had a feeling that was going to happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a couple layers out of white, just so that you can and I'll stack them to make them stronger. It's a handy dandy technique I've learned watching other other YouTubers. Jennifer McGuire does it, I believe. I've seen Kathy Zilski do it, Christina Warner, all rock stars who are, I wish I could hold a candle to their talent. But they are my goddesses of card making and all things scrapbooking. And I learned that technique watching them do it. So I'm going to do that for this real quick. So let me do that. Run it through, and then I'll do it also for the other one, and we'll get this done real quick. There we go. Okay, so I have my two red, one white, two red. Let me grab just a note. I already know that in my other card I want to do it in a different color. Decided to do it in a gold, in this gold color. So there I have that little piece. I'm just going to recycle my little purple tape, which is, I think purple tape is just masking tape that's purple. So, or not masking tape, excuse me, painter's tape. So, for all of you, I think you can just use painter's tape just as well as purple tape and not go to the extra expense and get a lot more for the same price. Ooh, there we go. Run it through. Okay, whoa, did you see that? Got that one. Oh yeah, this is a one shot for sure. Let me poke that out from one end. There you go. Look at that. Perfect. Now let me do my 2 white layers. And look, I have just enough out of this piece of paper. And this is just scrap paper, guys, that I used from another card. From another cards I made for a swap I'm doing for the expo. These are scraps left over from that. So I always hang on to my scraps until I no longer need them. And okay, maybe, shoot, I didn't want to go through. Interesting. I'll run it through. Is it just like that infinitesimally thicker? I'm not running it through twice because at this point I don't care about how well it embossed. All I care about is that it cuts. That it cuts out. Because I'm going to glue these and layer these. Layer these down real quick. So at this point it doesn't need to be pretty. It just needs to be. I'll go through this one too. Really quick. Hopefully it cut because I just realized, hello Myra, you did not put the shim in. But yeah, it cut out. Okie dokie pokey. That is done. So I can take this piece of paper and just toss it, make it go away. Embossed, cut. I think I'm done. So I can take Old Faithful and let me just put it here on the floor. Where when I am done, I promise you I will trip on it or kick it with my toe or something along those lines. So we have these and we have these, all of these. So let me do a little bit of layering. So I got my red piece, I got my gold piece. I'm going to allow myself to sit down at least for a moment, just because I can. Set these aside. I'm going to grab Big Mama. This is what I call my big ATG gun. I love, love, love this thing. I cannot recommend enough, guys. If you don't have it, don't be intimidated by it. It is my favorite tape gun. To me, it works out to be the most economical. I know it may not be everybody's cup of tea, but truly it is mine. I love this puppy. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is, let's peel that up. Stick it there on my camera stand. And we will go with this one now. And just that way I'll get them both done at once. And hope it doesn't backfire on me and stick to something like the mat or me or a cat decides right now to traipse through a desk and the next thing you know it's full of cat hair. Anybody that gets a card from me knows that there is a very good chance there is cat hair involved somewhere in it because the cats just like to traipse across my workspace and they think they own the desk. I keep arguing the point with them, but you know, it tends to be a losing proposition with them. And let me just put this down, kind of center it. I saw a little edge there, that card wasn't centered and I don't want to deal with it now, so let's, whoop, not bad. Not bad at all. Come here, my pretty. And I'm not going to bother erasing that because look, the paper I'm using covers it for me. Yay! One moment of laziness. Okay, we'll do that. Then we can do the pièce de résistance. How do I want to do this? Okay, yeah. We'll do that with this one. Tape it down. Let's go all the way across. I don't know why I always do. I mean, it doesn't seem right if I go all the way across. I always want to leave a little break in the middle. Why? I don't know. It's just my lunacy. It's a little bit of the Mad Scrapper's madness. I'll put this on the gold. Down. Again, center it carefully. Not bad at all. Okay. Okay, I mean, whoops. Now, watch. Do you see that? It's a little piece of paper. That's from me running it through. a couple of times and not lining it up right. And hopefully whoever receives this card will not notice. If not, I will quote a friend of mine, Shauna. Shauna, if you ever see this one you have said to me a million times. It is the beauty of a handcrafted item. Doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be. And if the recipient, doesn't appreciate it and criticizes you for that little defect, go ahead and punch them in the nose and take your card back. I'm okay with that. Well, okay, maybe not punch them in the nose, but that might be rude and get you arrested. And then you'll say, but Myra said so. Okay, on here, and see, now I found another little stringy thingy. Let me get these. Oof. So see, now that's a little lesson you guys have learned from me. Be a little bit more careful with when you die cut these. Not be trying to do it fast and talking at the same time and all of that, like I was. Maybe if I just shut up for a hot second, Oi! You know, I wouldn't have a problem. Okay. Now we have these, and okay, let's put our sentiments down first. And for this, I'm going to sit down again. I wanted to keep this a little bit simple. I don't want to over decorate it because I thought about it when I was plotting this out to maybe color these, but I decided no. For these, I wanted to do kind of the elegant, the simple elegant, or Myra speak for I was lazy. Whichever way you want to look at it. But I do want to make these into layers, so let me grab my glue. What do I want to do? What do I want to use? Reptile? Do I want to use my Barely? All right, Reptile is going to glue faster. This is one of my glues. This is a newer glue I have discovered. I love this stuff, guy. Reptile. It dries super fast and it sticks. When it sticks, it sticks. So this is not, if you have a tendency of, and you need that little playtime, this is not your glue. Use something else, you know, I mean, in my case, my glue for that is Barely Art. That's really my go-to glue right now for everything, just about, because it gives me a few seconds of playtime, and that's sometimes what you need to line things up. Like here, this is not difficult to line up because it's finite. I have the edges, I just have to line them all up, squish them a little bit. And then I will go in now, another layer of the glue, and glue the red layer on. But it does glue fast. It glues great. I discovered this watching a YouTuber from the UK. And it's interesting that I have to go to the UK or watch a YouTube from the UK to find out about a glue that's manufactured in the United States. And they have a hard time finding. Go figure that out. The Brits always are, you know, on to stuff. So there we go. I'll set that aside because it's nice. Set that aside, and then let's glue this one down real quick. But this one, at least now that I've added the extra layers, it gives it a little bit of dimension and a little bit of stability. And that's what you want, because we're going to pop this up. It's not just going to lay flat on the card. I always thought when I just started deciding to do this, that I wanted to pop it up. I mean, you know, the same token, if you can put here or here both if you want, I hope you can see it, you can stamp something in there. It said to me, die cut, die cut, die cut. So, and I have recently organized all of my, at least, you know, sentiment stamps and die cuts. So I knew where to find them. It's not like I have a lot. I realized, gosh, you know, and I should collect, you know, acquire some more. But like I said, I am not so much the card maker. I have been greatly an album maker. So things that are probably old news to you guys is like, whoa, I just found out about it. It's like the holy grail of knowledge. So everything is new and shiny and oh my goodness. And so now, of course, I want to share it because that's what I like to do. I figure, oh, this is cool. Let me show somebody else what they do it. Okay. So I'm going to let this dry for a few minutes. Like I said, this glue really dries. So I'm going to come back to this and see, it already feels stiff. So I'm going to put an old Reptile. Now I'm going to pop it up. Now I want to show you guys, again, this is a glue that I've only recently discovered, and this one also is by watching videos by V&A Luna. She has V&A Creates, and it's this stuff. It's Colol 3D glue. So instead of using your puffs, your foamies, your 3D dimensionals, this stuff works just the same, and it's awesome, and it gives you the play time that a foam dot won't give you while you're trying to figure out where you're centering it. So let me show you. Let me give you the handy dandy demonstration, and hopefully this won't backfire for me, because of course, if anything, it's going to backfire on camera. So it is a clear. You can see it come out. It's hard. I'm not telling you. It takes a little bit of doing, but it is a clear, transparent, silicone-y, uber thick, whatever you want to call it, glue. But you're using it just like you would foam dots, but in the place of, and they're clear. See, and of course something, I told you it was going to backfire. Heaven forbid that I not do something wrong, but we'll fix that. We'll just, but you see that? It's pretty. I mean, it comes out pretty darn tootin' solid. Come here, my pretty. Okay. And, okay, we're going to wipe our hands off here. Now I'm going to stand up again because I want to, and I see a little piece that's visible there, so I'm going to hide that. But now I'm just going to put that down, and it's already, can you see it? It's already off. But now I can smush it a little. Smash it down. Let me center it a little bit better, a little bit down. But just push it down, press it down a bit. So it is still, if you can see that, still the 3D look. If you see it from the side, see? I can possibly, nothing else, smash it a little bit so there it's all the same. But hopefully you can see that. And this will dry that way. But it gives me that ability, if I need to center it or move it around if you need to. You know that foam dots doesn't let you do that. Once it's down, it's down. Too bad, so sad. You change your mind, break out, undo. So this saves me a step, and God only knows that if anybody's going to screw it up, it's me. So now let's do this one as well. Take my lid off. This is supposed to be, it's such a thick stuff that I have not opted to use this nozzle because I think it'll be, you know, doomsday before I get it out of the tube. So I'm still, this is very new to me. This is my first tube. I've seen it, as seen on TV or as seen on YouTube. But this is my first time using it. So it is, there's a little bit of a learning curve to it. But I'm sure that I will muddle through. And guys, seriously, if I can do this, trust me, you can too. Because Lord knows that as the mad scrapper, I'm the screw up of the century. So that looks, let me see. I have to even bring it closer so you guys get to see it, so do I. And let me tap it down. Just so it sticks. I think I put too much down. It's a little bit visible, more than I would want it to. But I'm not going to fart with it. Remember what I said. Again, it's the beauty of a handcrafted item. Those are my little imperfections. You want goddess perfection? Yeah, you need to watch Jennifer Maguire. That's not going to be me. I'm so sorry. So really, if we're going with simplicity, this is, if for all intents and purposes, it's a done card. I want more. I think it needs a little bit of bling. And I thought about that as I pulled the paper and was thinking of working this up. So I went into and looked for my stash of rhinestones. Because what says bling better than rhinestones? So I pulled red to do that card. And where is my little package? Where did I bury the gold rhinestone? Hello. Not really. What did I do with them? Boy. That's not it. Of course, I am not going to find them. Unless, let's see, because I may have, in my efficiency, because I rebagged them, because when I opened up one package, they all went leaky. Oh, yeah, that was what it was. In my efficiency, I put them away. So let me see which one I want to use. I'll set this aside. And do I want to use the littler one, or I'm gonna use the bigger ones. So let me grab this little dish, and I'm just going to make it easy on myself. And pour just, even though I only, let's see, I'm gonna do one here and one here. Maybe we'll put some littler, maybe use the littler ones. What do you guys think? Here, here, and here, without being overkill, but you know, because sometimes more is not better. Sometimes more is just more. So I'm gonna try. I'm gonna put the two for sure I'm sold on. Let me grab my little tweezers from here. Now you would think I would have had my act together and already have these all set up so that I would not be struggling looking for stuff like a doofus. There we go. I love these tweezers. These are super fine-nosed tweezers. I got these. I don't know who makes them because I think it just came in a little Ziploc, but I got these from Creative Creations, so I will try to remember to link you guys to it. These things rock. They are my go-to for dealing with rhinestones. Absolutely, positively. And I'm going to grab my glue. For this, I'm definitely breaking out Barely Art. I can, you know, I don't need the fast, necessarily the dry time. What I need is a nozzle that, you know, a small nozzle. So this is their bigger nozzle. And you see me putting it together. But it's a pinpoint, and then it also, and it's interchangeable. This is the lid. Isn't that a funny looking lid? This is the fine point. So if you can see, it's just that little needle one, and you can just switch them out, swap them out. So this glue is not just a great glue. It gives me a few more seconds of playtime, but it also has the interchangeable nozzles. What I do is I usually just drop this lid on top of it while I go and do a thing so that it doesn't dry and clog. I'm going to grab my little rhinestone and see what I mean? Oop. And I just drop it into place. And then grab it and drop it into place. And I don't struggle, because I have 50,000 different little tools that have, you know, the little clay on top, or like this guy, which has a sticky, it's kind of like that stuff, the sticky, does sticky. But then the problem is that it sticks so well that then I can't get the rhinestone to detach from it. And then this is my little handy dandy tray, also, I think it's Creative Creations, but I do diamond dots. That's my Zen. And this is the little tray that you pour the diamond dots in, and I've realized, oh my goodness, this thing rocks it for rhinestones. So it is one of those tools that's multifunctional. So let me now pour out a few of these babies. And I'm going to swap out. I could have probably gotten away with the smaller one to start with. Let me just really quick poke all the way through. Okay. Just do that real quick. Set it aside. And now my fingers are all sticky dicky. But that, my dear friends, is what wet ones are for. Okay. We'll take the lid, and again, like you see here, I just change one out, change it to the other, and there you go. And in a minute, I go from a regular tip to a fine tip. That looks like it's clogged. Let's fix that. Wow, it really is. I wasn't kidding. Oh my goodness, I did a Myra. Yeah, this isn't coming unglued. So either I use the other one and we'll use pressure, but now I have to soak that. It's not the first time I do that, ladies, just so you know. And the solution is just tossing it into some warm water. And it will unglue. So now I just have to be very careful, because I'm using smaller rhinestones, so I do not need a big dot. But I think I just want to put one there. and one there. What do you guys think? Because if you let me, I'll start figuring out where else to put rhinestones, and then I go into the overkill zone. And I don't want to do that. Put that lid there. Let's come in here. Oh, look, that one's just stuck to it. But that herein is the problem when you do it that method, which is why I don't like to, because then it sticks. And you can't get it off. Okay, guys. The lucky thing is why I'm not stressing that this thing is now dropped in 2 different places is that this glue dries matte. So you don't have to worry about, because even though all glues dry clear, you'll get a shiny. You'll see that little shiny aura coming out from the glue spot. You don't see it with Barely Art. It is it dries clear and it dries matte, so you don't see it. And that's always good if you you put a little bit too glue and it comes out the edges. You're not going nuts trying to erase it out, either with your your little ceramic tool that I have that I use to when I overlap the glue. Right there. So this one I think is a little bit off center, but I already let it glue, and that's what I like about Barely Art. It gives me those few seconds I need. What do you guys think? I like that. I think, really in all honesty, I'm going to leave this sleeping dog lie. And there is one card. So very simple, very quickly, I got, I have a quick card that I could have done faster, hadn't been talking. But there you go. Now I have this one. And I want to do this one. I already knew when I looked at it at this embossing, I go, oh, I'm going to want to do more. I'm going to want to do more rhinestones because I could tell it had all of these spots. So this will take more than a few minutes, but still very zen, very, I think, therapeutic. And what the heck? Let's bling it up. Hang on, because you have to be careful with rhinestones. Oh boy, Myra really did it. There we go. The 3D glue is still wet, so it picked up a couple of the rhinestones. Oof. Okay, we're going to move these over out of the way for right now, and I will deal with it later. Take a look at this. Okay, I'm going to start with these, the bigger ones. Okay, I don't think I'm going to need that many. It just was easy to pour that out. Let me take a look. Okay, I think I know what I want to do. Dot, dot. That was too big of a dot. Here and here and here. And that one too. That one and that one. One and that one. And let's see if I didn't get too happy with the glue, because that's quite a lot of spots to cover before they start to dry. And let me grab my little handy dandy rhinestone. We'll go with, I don't know why, but I decided to start with that one. And then that, whoops. And then of course if you catapult one, then you have to go chase it down. But we're just gonna glue, oh my goodness. Remember I said how easy they are to capture? Well, yeah, no, unless now you're like, okay, I want to get this done on camera and not spend the next 3 days doing this, so. Okay, otherwise, literally, your guys are going to be hearing crickets because I have the front door open just to let in a flow of air. And I can hear the crickets loud and clear. So they are my background. They're my background singers right now. The backup singers. The crickets. There we go. One more. And there we go. I think, by Joe, that's it. So what do you think, ladies? Tell me what you think. I mean, all considering, this was just, and I bought these because both of these embossing folders just because I thought they were pretty, and I was fascinated by them. I'm gonna zoom it up closer for you guys, but I really like how that turned out, and took a little bit of time, but you know, it's not as quick as maybe we would want it to be, but you didn't have to, you know, you may not want to do all this rhinestone work. Maybe you think, Myra, you're crazy. I'm not doing that. And again, they won't know. And then here's the other one I did, just for comparison. So a lot of bling, not so much bling. So tell me what you think, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this learning and the demonstration of these embossing folders. If you want to see more or want to see something different, let me know down in the comments. Please remember to like this video and subscribe if you want to be alerted, or you want to see more videos by me, and make sure you hit the bell so that it lets you know when I've uploaded one. Please share with anybody that you think will enjoy looking at this too, and I will see you again when I do the next one. Have a great day. Take care. Bye.